Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body.
Hello. You are now tuned in to the A Little Bit A Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another episode. This week, we have our very special reoccurring cast member, my boyfriend, Juwan.
Yo.
Hey, boo.
Hey, what's going on? I'm back.
Oh my god.
What's
I
going
know.
on? How everybody been? Put in the comments how you been.
Y'all know he's the put in the comments king, and that's on period.
Okay.
No, it's hashtag engagement, and you understand, you support.
You're right.
Oh my gosh, the girlies love Dub. Okay, I've been hearing a little bit of feedback, and a lot of people like the episodes that you're on. So it always just feels like a little sweet treat.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Like, I've always gotten good feedback about your vibe, your energy, and our dynamic. So I always ask you every time you come on, every quarter, how you been? You been good?
Yeah, everything been good, still working,
Saving lives.
Just going
chilling
forward.
with this beautiful girl.
Yeah.
So I've been telling the people a little bit about like our, crazy shenanigans with our apartments. Are you ready to move?
I'm ready to get out of here.
Yes. You feeling excited about this move and feeling ready for a new space?
Absolutely.
This will be your second apartment you've ever lived in.
Yeah, it's still surreal. Just, I'm so used to being in one spot, for so long, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited though.
Yeah, because Juwan grew up in his childhood home is his grandma's house.
Right. So,
everybody comes over there, all of the extended family, like that's like the house, So I know it was probably like a big change living there your whole life, like your mom being there, your grandma and grandpa, and then like moving into an apartment. But you like apartment living?
Yeah, I do.
Sure. So yes. So since we have Juwan, I just figured that we would do another Q&A. I recently did a Q&A by myself a little while ago, but we just celebrated our 12-year anniversary this year. And I just figured we would do like a Q&A about relationships. Yeah. So people can write in with their relationship problems, if you need advice, or if you had questions about our relationship and our journey. A lot of people always say like, y'all been together longer than people have been married. So, but I feel like it always feels like it's so long because we're high school sweethearts. So, we've been together since I was 16. Like, that's crazy to say.
And I was 15.
Yeah. So
she old.
No, see, and that's always the tea. We are literally very hard. 4 months apart. Both born in 96, 4 months apart, and he wants to always be like, "You're old," like whatever, cougar type kings. But yeah, so let's jump right into it. I did ask you guys on my Instagram at A Little Bit A Lot podcast on my story for you guys to give me any questions that you had about relationships in general, and then I also posted it on my YouTube community page and left a link for you guys to ask questions. So all the questions that are submitted so far we will be answering, and if there's more submissions later, then I guess I can like answer those on my own time on like the next Q&A. So let's get into that. But before we do, you guys already know the drill. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give this video a like. comment down below to let me know if you have any other questions about relationships or what you think about this video. And make sure you subscribe. I am on my road to my first 700 subscribers. So thank you so much. Turn those post notifications on. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, thank you. I appreciate you. Rate that 5 stars. Leave a review to let me know what you think about the show.
For sure.
And with that, let's get into it. Y'all know Tasha. Okay, so the first question we have is from somebody that submitted, and they said, and these are actual submissions. I don't know if you thought that these were just like, last time was like Reddit, so like these are people that actually from the community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are people from the A Little Bit of Law podcast community down.
Oh, so they gonna see this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How y'all doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay. The first question says, do you believe in soulmates, or is love about choosing each other? I'll answer first. I do believe in soulmates. I do. And I feel like soulmates can be like not even just like romantic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like you can, like Janae, my sister always says like she thinks like we're soulmates.
Right, I feel that.
Yeah, but as far as like romantic, I do believe in soulmates, and I feel like you can have multiple soulmates. So like my sister is like definitely my soulmate down. Like I feel like we're sisters in like other lives and like past lives and stuff, if you guys believe in that. But then like as far as like romantically, I do believe like we are soulmates for real. But I do also believe that love is about choosing each other though. Like you can be soulmates down, but you know, when you've been together as long as we have, like you do realize that love is about like choice. You know, you can have love for the person, but you gotta continue to choose them and choose the relationship every day, in my opinion.
Kind of the same. I think, like you said, soulmates is like people that's so loving and loyal to you, like a sister. You know, stuff like that. Like, yeah, them soulmates. You know, and also a soulmate could be a best friend. Like some best friends just don't fall out. Like they just you know, they grow old together. Like that's, you know, they families mingle and just, you know, and now y'all play cousins, you know, like
Heavy on that. That's a real thing.
I've saw that before. But you definitely would have to want, you know, as far as like, you know, loving, you know, that
about
way.
choosing each other.
Yeah, choosing each other. Yeah, you have to want it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't want it, it ain't gonna happen. You could love each other down all day, but you have to want it if you want it to work.
Yeah. I think you definitely do have to choose like every day. Like it's a choice. It is a choice down, and if you think it's not, then good luck. Because you know, and it's in certain relationships the choice is easier than others. In my relationship, it's an easy choice because I feel like me and you are genuinely best friends as well. And you used to always have a joke like when we first started dating, like we're not friends. I don't know why you were so anti being friends, and I'm like, dude, you're literally my bestie. Like, cut it out. Like, you actually might be like the best friend I ever had. Because at that point, like my view of friendship was like so bad, and you know that. And then once we became like started actually building a friendship within our relationship too, I was like, this is what friendship is supposed to feel like.
You're right.
I agree. Like I believe that, don't you?
Yeah.
Would you say we're best friends too?
I mean, yeah. Like we spent every day with each other. You know, from high school to after high school. Like,
yeah.
it was normal to be around.
Right.
We caught the bus together, you know, public transportation.
No, heavy on that. We didn't even ride the same school bus, but we would take like the same city bus.
Just to go to the food court and things like that, just to see things.
Man,
Yeah,
we used to be.
He was my favorite person to be around.
I am. You're my favorite person to be around too, babe. Oh my gosh, no, because like we used to be on the city bus before, like we had like our cars, and Juwan would just be like, this isn't gonna be forever. Like this is only temporary. Like when we get our cars, like I'm taking you around, and I'd be like, no, that's never gonna happen. And now like you just take me to Raising Cane's when I want. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah, we do definitely believe like it is about choice and soulmates are a thing. Next question is, how do you handle arguments and disagreements? You want to answer first or you want me to answer?
I don't know. I choose my battles. Like, this what I do. Yeah. If
you're not watching on YouTube, Juwan just pay his vape.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm just here.
No, but that is a good point, babe. Like, you do have to choose your battles in relationships, and sometimes like that's just about like I feel like every relationship, because sometimes I feel like that even with my mom, where I'm like, oh, I don't even want to choose this battle right now. Like, I want to keep it cute right here, because sometimes it just don't even be worth it. Like, we're heavy on advocating for yourself, and we both believe in like communicating, and if there's really something wrong, then like we both will say that. But then there's sometimes like certain situations where it's like, it's just so petty, like there's not even any point in like making it a thing. So I think that helps us like with longevity of us getting along, because like
we have an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain stuff, just most of our arguments really just petty. Like it's just nothing. Like
we've never had an argument about anything actually seriously dire, or anything like about finances or our living situation. Like it's just always about like, oh, you didn't let me have the last candy, and that was so rude.
No, cut that out. No, our arguments be like, oh, why you ain't take a shower before I got home? Like now I gotta wait to take a shower. I'm a CNA. I gotta strip, get in, get out. But now you want to take a shower, so that's the argument.
That is true. That is very, very true. Juwan always be like, you work from home, like you couldn't take a shower at like 2. You had to wait to take it at 4:30. But the guy is, he doesn't understand that we get off work at the same time. So even if I work from home and I could technically take a break and go shower real quick, it's like I'm not thinking about it until I press clock out, just like he is. But
I got no choice but to think about it though. Like I'm coming home.
Right. But I have been trying to get better. Like last week I took a shower like during lunch, and I was like, see? And you were happy about that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's like that's a good point. Like we do pick our battles with like petty stuff, and I think
because I'm gonna say something about that every time.
Yeah, like he'd be over that, which is like I do understand, because I would feel the same way if I was the one coming home. I'm like, what the freak? And we have 2 showers, but like we just don't ever use the second one. So we still be fighting over the one. Like what? Hopefully that changes in our next apartment in the shower. The next one is better. But yeah, I think that's just how we handle arguments and disagreements. To answer that question is like we choose our battles, and we give each other space to like hear each other out. Like we also like use the advice of like my therapist too. I think that sometimes that helps us as well. Like it helps me understand a lot of times like where you're coming from, and then it helps me like express my point a little bit better, and then like you keep in mind it in turn helps you, because then you will think like, what would my therapist say and that's helped us a lot with our communication. And at the end of the day, I think we don't let stuff like go unresolved. Like when we have our, a disagreement or something, like we hear each other out, and then we make sure that like, okay, like we're on the same page, right? And if we like still be confused, like next day type things, and we're like, wait, like we just really make sure we understand where the other person is coming from. And sometimes we like, well, Juwan's right in this situation, or I'm right in this situation, or we agree to compromise, and then we like make a plan on like what to do going forward. Like he always makes me feel like validated in that way, and being like, okay, well, going forward, what do we do now? Because sometimes some people don't be thinking about the future, but we think about how it impacts future situations. And Juwan will be like, oh, that'll never happen again, or I understand, like you're heavy on that. So yeah, like,
get her done.
Exactly. Like usually Juwan is like, he'll do something once and he's like, he'll never have to worry about talking to me about that again, and usually I don't. So yeah, the next question is, who is the best at cheering up their partner when they're in a bad mood / sick? You think you are?
Yeah. What you mean? I'll come home with some Reese's. Geez.
Granted, I'm the one that is in a bad mood a little bit more than you. So I do understand that. But you be sick more. But I feel like I cheer you up as well by taking care of you down when you're sick as well. But you're just harder to cheer up.
You
dude.
take care of me, but the question said cheer up.
But I feel like that's like a personal thing.
Like, hello, it should be happy on camera.
I feel like at the end of the day, Juwan is so incredibly hard to cheer up when he's in a negative space. Like, it just seems like sometimes you just gotta let him go through it, and then when he's out of it, then he'll be back to cheerful. Or with me, you can just pull me out of it. So I feel like that's the difference.
So that question is depending on the person.
Yeah, I feel like, well, no, at the end of the day, it's you. Because I feel like I'm more easily swayed at getting out of the situation, where you're like, no, I have to go through it, and then then I'll get over it.
Right, so I'm better at cheering you up.
Yeah, I think. And like, even my therapist has acknowledged this like multiple times, where she's like, Juwan always knows what you need. Like, anytime I'm like upset about something, like whether it's like anything, like, you always know to be like, oh, well, maybe you should color, or maybe you should, like whatever activity you suggest is always like the right activity that I need. Like what type of snack is like best for the situation. Like, I don't know, you're just so in tune with me, like intuitively, that you just always know what to say, and you always know like what to do or get. So I really love that. So yeah, I guess Juwan will take that. It says, who is the best at speed cleaning your apartment? I'm gonna have to say me. I be getting it done, and then when you come home, you be like, oh, boo. Like, I'm like, I did this, and that, because it's like, I get manic. And I'm like, oh, we're turning up. I'm doing it all.
But that one time I cleaned the counter, and somehow I started sweeping and cleaned the microwave.
Oh, that was like,
that was manic.
That was a peak. That was a peak at what Kristen mania looks like on Juwan, and I was like, whoa.
I'm like, I don't know how we got here. Like, I just looked at it the other day. I'm like, man, I'm glad I did that. Yes, that's clean.
The counter does look good right now.
I'm glad I did that.
Oh my god. Put that air fryer in the dishwasher. Like, everything was nice. Yeah, but I think that ultimately that's gonna have to go to me though. Just because, like, I don't know, I just always end up doing that. Because I just be home, I'd be on a break, and then I'm like, next thing you know, I jump over here, I jump over there. Juwan comes home, and he'll always be like, what's going on here? You just be like, so, I don't know, I don't even know how to read your face. You just be like, whoa. And then you'll like jump in and be like, is there anything you need me to do? And then you'll help. Hashtag helping, okay? Because a lot of y'all dudes be coming home and just be like, and then like don't even try to help. Like, I'll usually have a majority of things done, but you'll still, you know, at least try to like do one thing if everything is already done. So I always appreciate that. But yeah, and then it says, this next question is so gaggy because I already know which one's gonna answer. Who drives the worst?
I'm gonna just put on my chapstick. I don't got nothing to say. Because I love my baby.
I love my baby. I love my baby.
Cause man.
Oh my God.
Say your piece.
No. Be silent or silent.
People want to hear you. Like, why he ain't talking?
Be silent or silenced. I'm just singing.
I feel like die line.
Oh my God, my freaking cheeks hurt, dude. No. I just knew as soon as I saw this, I was like, I literally know what Juwan's gonna say. Like, from day one, down since day one-ish, like, Juwan has been saying that I'm the worst driver. And it's just like, it just doesn't help that, like, the situations that I've been in where Juwan has been in the car have been a little crazy. You know, like, there was that one time where, like, it was Juwan's, like, 19th birthday or something. And, like, we were in the car with a bunch of our friends at the time. And I didn't have my license yet. I think I just had my permit.
Yeah, I feel like that don't count though.
And I drove on I got on the wrong side of the expressway. I thought that was the entrance of the expressway, but I got on the exit, turned around. Thankfully, nobody was getting off. But it was like, that was crazy. But you don't think that counts?
No, I don't think that counts. You didn't even have your license.
Yeah, I didn't.
But did you ever? I'm sure you talked about the time you got pulled over listening to No Flex Zone.
Yeah, that was a whole episode. If you guys haven't listened to that on season 1, make sure you guys tap into that because that was a crazy story. Had to go to court, car impounded, the whole 9.
All because she didn't have her lights on.
I didn't know how to turn my lights on in that old motherfucking car.
That's bad driving.
I didn't have my license then either.
But you. Netflix Zone though. So
I did not have my license then either, dude. Oh my God.
They know better. Lights off though.
Literally with my freaking seafood salad ready to smash. That's all I cared about. That's all I cared about was getting home with that seafood salad, dude.
2 minutes from your house. That's
Heavy
all you
on
have
that.
is 2 minutes.
Dude, F that cop to this day, bro.
I'm sure the song wasn't even over before you got pulled.
Of course not. It had only been.
Did you get to the second verse? Did you get to Jimmy?
I don't think so.
You ain't get to Jimmy?
I literally was like at my job, turned at the light, and then made it to those senior homes across from where your brother used to live, and that was that.
So you just had Sway Lee.
So I'm sure we only got a minute in, 60 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's just Sway Lee.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so. Every time I think about that. But then it's like at the same time, it's like somehow I just always have like bad driving like luck. Like I've been the one that's been stuck on the expressway multiple times in my life with like blown out tires.
All in one summer.
No, literally, like. Then my very first car I had, engine broke down, almost caught on fire on 69. Like, it was like somehow I'm just always end up being stuck on the expressway. And so to this day, Juwan, I feel like you get a little nervous when I have to go somewhere. Because he's like, every time I leave, he's like, please drive careful, please drive safe. And I'm like, you be gagging it, but I don't say nothing. I just say I love you and I leave.
Did y'all just not hear all the stories she just said?
What? But I'd be like, whatever. But no, it's been multiple occasions where Juwan has had to come find me. I had to send him my location and come get me because I don't know how. I don't know. But then it's like my mom's theory is that I be in these situations because I'm always like running over curbs and then my tires always be getting like worn down because my dad swears I have lead foot. So they be acting like it's like user error, but I don't think so. But somehow I don't know. But then there's been a handful of times where like you've been stuck, but like I know that wasn't you. It was like that for sure was confirmed. Like your old freaking stupid freaking Intrepid.
Yeah, oh yeah, my gas line had bust. Yeah, I was stuck at the light.
Ugh, that was such a crazy day.
That was the end of it. That was the last straw.
Yeah. So, but it's like, what makes you think, like, why, when you first came to this conclusion of, like, she might be a bad driver, or she's not the best driver, like, why did you think that?
Because stuff you would say.
Like what?
My special awareness, I can't see you. What? You can't see her on the other side of the car? Like, I'm like, oh yeah, she just can't drive.
That is so ridiculous. Because I would have like big, kind of bigger cars and I couldn't see. That's not my fault. That Jeep.
You got to use that mirror.
It was hard. It's just hard. It's hard for me.
You're supposed to see all around your car just from your one spot, your one seat. You got your rear view, both of your side mirrors. Even if you gotta just look in the back mirror, look in that back mirror.
I don't be trying to turn my head at all.
Right.
There'd be okay. You know what? I'll take it.
Passenger princess.
Because there's yes.
That's the only time you drive when you're in the passenger seat. Why you ain't gonna? Oh, you could have beat that light. You want to drive? Do you want to drive?
And that one time I was like, yeah, actually, and got out and whipped it. If I was at the parking space, yeah. In the Chicago streets, I did that. That one time, singular. No plural. No, but for real, like it'd be so many times where like I'd be struggling with, like you said, using all of my like resources and mirrors and like just even simply turning my head to look, because I'd be relying on my like new car technology. Like, you know how like the side mirror will like beep like yellow when there's somebody next to you, but sometimes they don't always be picking the people up depending on where they're at.
Right.
So I'd be thinking I'm good to go over because I don't look, because I'm like, oh, it got me. And then like 3 days ago when I was like going to with my sister, I went to like get over and the car did not register that somebody was there, and I was like, oh my god. Like it was almost collision.
Dang.
Yeah, I never told you about that. That happened this week. And I was like, oh, I need to really start making sure I really look and like not rely only on the car sensors.
So you gonna tell me why everybody watching?
Yeah.
Guess I can't say nothing.
No, and you better not. It's quite no back talk. Anyways, no, yeah, I'm the worst driver. Whatever the freak, dude. Next question. It says, marriage, is that your guys' thing? What about kids? Of course, we want to get married. I already have a promise ring down. I told y'all guys. Okay, and of course we want to have kids. But I feel like if it was up to Juwan, like we would literally have a baby yesterday down. And that's on My Man Loves Me, period. But, you know, me, it's like, I'm just a girl. Words of flow. I'm just a little freaking, it feels like it's going to be a teenage pregnancy. So it's like, I still want time to be able to just like live and like travel a little bit more and just get our finances like a little bit more together. And then I'll be ready. But like, it's actually, we were talking about it and I'm just like, dang, like I feel like it's like, I'm feeling more ready for like sooner than I thought, within like the next couple years, rather than like later. So yeah, Juwan is like just really, I think you're looking forward to that dad life. Like he always talks about, we both always talk about, you know, kids and coming up with scenarios, and you're just gonna bully them. You're gonna bully the children.
What? No, I'm not.
The funny situations you be coming up with in your head while we're daydreaming about it be so crazy. I'm like, you're really gonna say that to our son? And he's like, nah, I'm just playing. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I was just playing.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, that's definitely something that we both want. Marriage was like a little bit spooky at first. I feel like we both don't really have like the best examples of like marriage in our family.
Right, I'm not really. It's like, of course we want it, but it's not like, I don't know.
Like we basically, people always say like we already have a common law marriage at this point.
Right, it's like, yeah, we already feel married, so.
Yeah. So it's not something that it's like a make or break for us that we're like rushing on that. More so like kids the priority, but obviously like I do want to get married first. And Juan's like, okay, yeah. So like we are on the same page with that. When the time comes, I'll let you guys know. I'm not gonna pull a freaking Jackie Ina and just pop out. Maybe I will. But I'm just kidding. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, that is something that we both want. Next question. Do you guys have any tips for maintaining independence in a relationship? That's a good one. I think we're good at that.
Yeah, just find like a hobby that you like to do.
Yes.
Just stick to it, and if you want to take it further, then take it further. If not, also have a career. I think having a career, you know, kind of puts you in your own lane, like having other responsibilities per se.
Yeah, I mean? Outside of that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's harder for like people that like work together or have like businesses together. But me and Juwan, like we both work in the healthcare field, but it's like total different jobs. You know, like he's a Cena and I'm a coder. We both work at like different facilities. I work from home. He's in, you know, goes in. So that obviously like gives us independence where like he's out doing his own thing. I'm home doing my thing. But then like we also give each other space. Like you said, with our hobbies, like Juwan plays the game. He's like good at singing. So he does that. And then I have like my Switch. I read. I color. You know, obviously like I'm a podcaster. So we give each other space to do that, you know, after work and like on the weekends too. So some days when we're done with work, we'll just like automatically hang with each other, you know, watch a movie, watch TV, get dinner. But then there's some nights where like we'll do like our own separate hobbies for like an hour or two, and then we'll like, we always end the night together. So we don't spend the whole evening separate, but there's like a lot of evenings where we'll just spend, you know, we make sure we have a little bit of a couple hours to ourselves though. I think that's like important. You know, you want to have like your own stuff, but then we also like have activities that we obviously do together too. We both have our like eras where we're playing a game together. You know, me and Juwan have done like a buddy color, and he's like come into the coloring world. Almost gonna plug it. Coloring with Kristen at Coloring with Kristen on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're up, okay? The everything that you see on that coloring talk and coloring Instagram, my man has already pre-approved. How do you feel about my coloring?
I think it's good. I'm glad it's another good community you could be a part of.
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting better and better every day. You're getting all the tools, and you're going to have like a coloring room in a second.
I know. Serious? I'm like already thinking about it for the next apartment. I'm like, damn, I feel like I need to get a whole separate desk.
Yeah.
And have like a moment. But I'm glad that we give each other that space. I think it was like harder to navigate like when we first moved in together. But now that we're like seasoned, we realized like it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then as long as we're like ending the night together, then we're Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel safe with that. So yeah, maintaining independence in your relationship, have your own hobbies, be okay with giving each other space and trusting that space. You know, because if you don't trust the independence of your partner, you know, if they go out and hang out with their friends, like, what are you doing? You know? Who's the better cook and what's their go-to dish? Honestly, I would say you'd say I'm the better cook.
Yeah.
No, I would say that you're naturally the better cook. Like, I'm better at cooking because I've forced myself to like exercise that muscle and get better at the activity of cooking. Mm-hmm. So I'm like basically the primary cooker. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you can whip up something that's going to taste better naturally than something that I put all of my energy into. Like,
because I'll be happy with my cooking.
Yeah, I don't like
your
it.
relationship with it is, I don't want to do this. And me, I go in there like, shit, I'm gonna whip this shit up. I've been thinking about this shit all day.
And that's heavy on that because Juwan knows that it's his night. He's going to put like so much positive energy into this dish, and he's gonna be like, this is gonna be the best thing ever.
Yes.
For me, I'm like, ugh, like, get this out of the way. Like, I just don't like it. Like, Juwan enjoys cooking and like trying new things more than I do. Mm-hmm. So I would say like you're naturally, like, you have a better natural gift for it. Mm-hmm. But because I do it more, I guess that makes me better in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah, you're still the better cook.
And it says, and what's their go-to dish? What would you say my go-to dish is?
Cajun shrimp pasta.
What we ate yesterday.
She'll go to.
Yes, like Cajun shrimp pasta is so good. Yeah. Oh my god. And I would say your go-to dish is burgers. Juwan will make a mean effing burger. The flavor in that beef is something you ain't never... I could, like, what? I'm sorry. I be gagged. I just be gagged. You make such a good burger. And it's like the art of burger, I feel like, isn't appreciated enough. But you understand and respect the beef. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you freak it, you season it well, you're good. You also make a good omelet. Mm-hmm. But I would say your go-to dish is burgers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I also like to do chicken now too.
Oh yes! Oh my god, Juwan makes a one pan. What is it? One sheet pan.
Oh yeah, right. Basically,
like chicken and potatoes, bro. Yeah. Roasted garlic potatoes. Oh yeah. So good, guys. It says, do you ever get tired of being around each other after so many years? And my answer is no.
Shoot. We have our breaks. Like, you'll be gone sometimes for a weekend or, 4 days or something like that. Or sometimes I go to Mississippi. Like, we have our space, when it's, when it happens.
Yeah, I think that is true. Like, Juwan like has his family reunions because there's a lot of his family is down south, so he's gone to that. And I stayed home, and like you said, with me, like going away on trips with my sister. When we go do things like recently, if you guys saw my vlog on my YouTube channel, where we met Miles and Dan and Phil, like that was like 3 days me and my sister spent on like a little girl getaway in Detroit. So I don't think that we get sick of each other because, like you said, we do have breaks, and we also maintain our independence with our hobbies. If I am feeling like nonverbal, Mm-hmm. So no, I don't think we get sick of each other. And a lot of people be so surprised by that too. And like they be asking me like, you know, I'm like, no, like he's literally my best friend. Like I'd be waiting for him to come home so I could freaking talk his freaking ear off while he's in the shower and tell him about this, that, and the other, and what happened with Kai Cenat on stream, like the freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'd be like ready to tell me the tea and at work and things, and we just look forward to our time spent with each other, and we genuinely be texting each other like, I miss you. I do be missing you.
I'm missing you.
Next question. So these ones are like more like problems that people are having with like their relationships. Okay, so the first half was kind of like us, but these are like people that need advice. So this question says, my partner sometimes compares me to their ex. It's making me insecure. What should I do?
You keep comparing them to their ex.
Yes.
Sound like he not over her.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you're gonna need to hang it up flat screen.
Yeah.
No, Nikki.
You need to set a boundary.
Okay, that is exactly what I was just thinking. Because me and Juwan have learned that, like, setting boundaries are not bad. I know it's, like, villainized, you know, and especially in the Black community. I'm not sure, like, what your race is, the person that submitted this, but especially in the Black community, it's like, it seems like you just gotta go with the flow and like just be okay with everything. But it's like, it is not rude to set a boundary and say, hey, like that makes me a little uncomfortable and I don't like when you do that.
Right.
Like that is okay. And me and Juwan like respect that in our relationship, you know, with each other. So I would say, like Juwan said, setting a boundary and saying, I don't like when you compare me to your ex. You know, could you please cut it out? Basically, starting like opening that conversation, because maybe he's not doing it like with bad intention.
Right. Yeah, we kind of need more depth details, right?
Right. I would say that we need a little bit more tea on this girly or whoever, whatever gender this person is. But I would assume that the partner, I would just hope. I would hope that this person is not doing with bad intention. But especially if it's like a newer relationship, sometimes you do be like, oh, well, you know, they used to do this and that, because then that's just like what you know and what you're used to. And then sometimes that previous relationship could be like the only standard that you have of like what you think relationships are supposed to be. And then you get with a new person and they're like, no, that ain't that, sweetie.
Right.
So you kind of got to be the one to like put your foot down and be like, no, this ain't Cynthia or whatever.
Yeah.
So set that boundary. And if he doesn't respond well to it, then that's like a whole nother situation that you might have on your hands. But start there. I don't really know what else to say after that. Next question. My boyfriend and I fight constantly about finances. Is this a red flag or just part of growing together? I would say...
I don't think it's... I mean, it depends on why y'all fighting about it. Is y'all fighting about it because he irresponsible, or is both of y'all just broke and y'all just upset? Like,
yeah, because that's a thing too. Sometimes you can fight about finances and it don't be like any one or the other person's fault. And like you said, you could just be in the Trenchiana era. Because me and Juwan, since we've been together since we were 16, like we were with each other when we didn't have any money. We were literal children. We didn't have jobs.
right.
So we know about like starting from nothing into now having full careers with 401k plans and retirements. Like, so there was an era where, you know, we do have to like get real and talk about finances, but it was never anything that we've argued about. I think because we grew together in that way.
So if it's nothing like that, then it's growing together, because that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's normal to fight about finances.
Is it though? We never thought about it.
I mean, it happens.
Well, yeah.
It happens. Like, it just happens. Like,
okay, yeah, that is true.
yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a red flag.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Unless he's stealing your money and y'all like.
Once again, this is a situation where we would kind of need a little bit more info.
Yeah.
A little bit more tea about what's going on. But at a surface level, I wouldn't say that fighting about finances is necessarily a red flag. And I do think that it does come with a part of growing together. But at the same time, I think that maybe it is time to maybe have a conversation and say like, hey, this is just really upsetting me. I don't like that we're constantly feeling at odds about this. You know, what can we do going forward to be on the same page about finances, you know, and see like where your partner's at, express where you're at, and try to come up with a plan. I think it's like the best route to go with that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's always important to make sure that you're on the same page when it comes to finances if you're living together and, you know, growing old together. So I would say on a surface level, it's a human thing, like you said. Next one, this is the second to last. I've been ghosted, but they still watch my IG stories. What does that mean? God, that is so freaking petty. Is that petty. From a girl or a dude? I don't know. These are all anonymous.
I've been ghosted, but they still watch my IG.
We're not laughing at you, babe. Just so you know, like, it's just a crazy freaking situation.
They trying to keep tabs.
No, right?
So what's she doing? Or what he doing? Ugh. Shoot, they obviously found somebody else though, but they low key miss you.
Sometimes it don't even be that. Sometimes people just be so irritatingly nosy.
Territorial?
Yeah. Almost kind of like a territorial team where they like still want to keep tabs. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I'm a nosy queen. Juwan has always gotten on me about like Facebook and being like, why are you still friends with like these 30 people that you don't like? Right. And still looking at their stories. And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to know what's going on with my enemies.
I just feel like we over that stage. We old now. Like,
yeah, you're like past wanting anybody to know.
I'm super past that.
Yeah,
it don't make no sense.
You don't care about sharing your accomplishments anymore. You don't care. Juwan deleted his Facebook. Honestly, guys, like that's the era that he's in,
and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Because
especially in the area that we grew up in, the Facebook is just nothing good. Nothing good about the locals. No shade, no tea. But y'all don't be on nothing. It just be the same old, fighting, exposing, crap talking about every single new restaurant that we ever get. Mm-hmm. Any new development that's going on in the city. And RIP shirts.
I think anything I need to know, like Instagram, TikTok, like that's all you really need, like in this day and age.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I would say that if you've been ghosted and they still watch your IG stories, that just means that they're just a petty person. Honestly, that's just so petty. You need to block them and move on. I would block.
What if they like that they watch their stories? Like, oh, I know you missing me. I don't know. I'm just.
But I think at the end of the day that comes from like my previous old ways, or I'm like I want anybody that's ever wronged me to still be able to keep tabs on me so I can flex on you. Mm-hmm. But like you said, I do need to grow out of that. Mm-hmm. So that could be a situation, but I personally think you need to block them, especially if they ghosted you. It's a chop.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Last question says, I've been with my partner for 2 years, and they're amazing, but they never want to talk about the future. When I bring up things like moving in together or long-term goals, they change the subject. Should I keep waiting, or is this a red flag? Ooh, that's
been 2 years.
Yeah, I just feel like if I'm assuming that you're around our age, like me not wanting to talk about those things when we were literal freaking teenagers was like different. When you're young and you're just like, After we ball, I'm not trying to come up with no long-term goals. Where's the Serena and Cordell on Love Island?
You still struggle with talking about the future or talking about situations that you haven't been in. Like, you don't like to do that.
Because I be feeling like my words hold weight, and I don't want to accidentally manifest something on accident. I just take it very seriously, like what I speak out because of you.
I never knew that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that really just be the tea.
Thanks. Thank God. Now I know.
But as far as like us like talking about like moving and our goals, like we do be transparent about that because we're here. You know, like we did have to have those conversations, and you know. Mm-hmm. But geez Louise, I just feel like
I think it's a red flag.
Yeah, and this age, unless he's a YN and he's 18, even then it's like grow up, bro. But I'm first of all, I'm just so sorry that you're even dealing with this. Like having somebody that has like clearly has commitment issues is scary, and you need to #run no BTS. Because
he don't even want to put nothing in your head. Like,
right. He's like, I don't even want to plant a seed.
You already know what he finna do.
Yeah.
She talking about what? In 3 years? Shit.
And then the type of dudes that don't even want to think about what they're going to do tomorrow. They don't want to even think about what they're going to do. No, for real though.
You know what I'm finna be doing in 3 years? I'm finna go. I'll be at Syracuse.
No. For real. But I do think that at that point, especially for the fact that you're saying y'all been together for 2 years, that is a red flag. Mm-hmm. Moving in together, being in your 20s, and having that conversation after a 2-year relationship is not weird. That's like, okay, that's appropriate. You're in your 20s, you've been together for 2 years. Naturally,
I feel like next time you do this, you need to say, hey, age, at least where you from, gender, you know? Hey, I get it. Dang.
No, Juwan's like, let me know your social security number and then we can talk.
Because we don't even know who we talking to. Like, dang.
I would say hang it up flat screen. But at the same time, let's say we want to give this person the benefit of the doubt, because what if they have trauma and they aren't like good at communicating? Because like we've had to come a long way with our communication and be like, hey, this is some real talk. We really do need to sit down and talk about these things. And you can help people change their perspective. You don't want to change. You don't want to be the one to be like, I can change them, but there isn't a way that you can help them learn new communication styles. Mm-hmm. So you did want to, like we said earlier, like have a boundary and say, look, going forward, if we're going to continue this relationship, I need you to get serious and tell me what are your long-term goals, and do you actually want to be with me and move in together? Mm. You know, having that conversation is important. So I wouldn't say just leave, but I will say, yes, it is a red flag, and yes, you do need to have a serious conversation.
Is it even giving serious relationship, or they just been messing around for 2 years?
I don't know. But if it seems like it's serious to them, if they're saying that they want to move in and talk about longer term goals.
Right. But is it serious to him?
Right. Or her.
Type shit.
So we don't know. They, them. You know, the girls, the gays, and the days are all welcome in this space.
Part 2. Goddamn.
Senior Soch.
Gender. Goddamn. Age. And goddamn.
That is too much identifiable information.
Gender, age, I ain't say name.
What if their partner is like, man, I really love the Little Bit of Life podcast, and we both listen to it. And then they're like, is this play about me? Or to, Rue, is this about us?
Gender and age. Okay, you don't got to say where you're from. But gender and age shouldn't be.
Juwan, no. I'm not going to have
See,
the
this
Little
one
Bit of
don't
Life
got no
community.
podcast. Y'all be following my rules. Do it this way. My army.
I mean, Juwan, no.
I got the army.
You listen to Juwan's show, it's a dictatorship. Here's democracy. The freak.
No, I'll just play. That'd be crazy to call your fans the army. Well,
No.
that's what BTS do, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my god. I still don't have an audience name. A little bit of Lotters? Like, what the freak? I don't know.
R.I.P. Moonbin.
Oh god. Heavy on that. We need to have more K-pop conversations for real. So that brings us to the end of that. Sorry if that last question got a little bit crazy, but no, for real.
Oh, the hot Moonbin.
No, serious. But like, make sure you're having those important conversations, guys. And I think that just is like the overall theme of this episode when it comes to relationships. Communication is important. Having understanding and respect for your partner and their feelings and their boundaries is important. Giving your partner space to be able to have independence is important. Making them feel heard and seen and loved just all goes into each other, and making sure that you're choosing each other every day is really what helps you have like longevity in the end, I'd say. So as long as you're like on the same page, and even if you aren't and you say, okay, this is the plans that we can work to get to the same page, like something is better than nothing. And it seems like some of y'all's partners are giving y'all a lot of nothing. And it's time to open the conversation. Those conversations can be scary. I totally understand that. You know, it's not going to be something that always comes easy. Like, even hard conversations to this day are sometimes a little bit difficult for me because I have anxiety, but I have to remind myself that, you know, Juwan always reminds me, like, he's not my enemy. You know, we are together. I'm not alone in this. Like, we have each other, because it's so easy for me to be like, it's just me. It's just me in these streets riding solo, and I feel like I'm the only person that's dealing with these emotions. But it's like, no, like, you know, we're a unit, or one. So yeah, this was so much fun. Thank you so much, guys, for all of your submissions. I'm hoping that we can do, you know, another Q&A going forward.
Hopefully we helped y'all, and
yes,
you know, submit some more if y'all want a part 2. Let's get the video to 100 likes. Comment below.
Listen, if I can get 10 likes, that'll be great. Right? On YouTube, that'll be great. A couple more 5-star ratings on Spotify. We've been stuck at 25 5-star ratings on Spotify for a while, and 12 reviews on Apple for a minute. So if y'all could, you know, come through for your girl, that'd be awesome. But I just really, really appreciate any time that you guys are like, you know, trusting me with anything. You know, like, this is a safe space. Like I said, everything is always anonymous. So I appreciate everyone that wrote in. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you're watching on YouTube, like this video, like Juwan said, comment down below, subscribe, turn those post notifications on. Spotify, Apple, rate those 5 stars, leave that review, and make sure you click that follow button on both Spotify and Apple so you're staying up to date with the show. Instagram, TikTok, at A Little Bit of Live Podcast, and Going with Kristen. Everything will be linked in the description. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Cause I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.